Hey guys, we are going to, we've got a few things to tell you about this class actually, but afterwards we're going to do writing for best results. I only have 15 minutes to do this video, so hopefully, because I'm too cheap to buy it, hopefully we can get everything in today, okay? For the most part, okay, the verbal presentation, right? I want you to, write something, come up with something, send it to me. Most of you have done that, so that's great. I want you to send it in to me. Everything else that we've done this quarter would include, some of the online instructions, anything kind of past this point, the verbal communication PowerPoint we started before we left, but rejection letter, here's some instructions, here's the assignment, letter formatting, direct versus indirect, really not a ton. Okay, today we're going to be doing writing for best results. This is kind of a large assignment, so it may be our last one, okay? Even though I've got so much other things. I really wish we could have done diversity and leadership. Those are really good. Being intercultural, that really kind of sums up all of our discussions in class, but it's all right. A lot of it's common sense, be kind to your neighbor kind of thing. So it's good stuff, but this you may not have known about. These are some more of the technical areas that you should know. Okay, so download the following PowerPoint and complete as directed. So you may have to download it. You might have to open up the PDF. You might have to download it. If you open it up as a PDF, wait for it to load. Okay, so that wasn't loading. This is what it was supposed to be. That's okay. It wasn't loading. If it doesn't load on your computer, I open something up on my Google Drive. And this might make it easier if you guys want to use Google Drive anyways. Just click on this. Yes, and you can open with Google Slides, and then you can edit it. Okay, that actually makes it a lot easier. Maybe I should do that from now on anyways. So, yeah, sorry about that. I just don't want to load up my personal Google Drive or my school Google Drive. Okay, so we're going to open up this PowerPoint. Let me just go through this really quickly with you. All right. Down here, oh crap, just a sec. Okay, sorry. Let's just get through this. Let's get through this PowerPoint. Okay. So, writing for best results. Just don't worry about that page. Okay. Oh yeah, what I was saying was the highlighted sections are for you to write something. Okay, you have to read the whole thing, but you don't, like slide 3, just read it, love it, memorize it, tell your mom it, okay, so that you remember it, okay. So that's kind of all the parts that aren't highlighted. Mostly it's just reading, okay. Slide 8, just communicate, you'll see it, you'll understand, okay, remember to communicate that way, okay. So slide number 2, written communication. You must get your written message across the first time and make a good impression. Okay, so that's the whole goal for this whole thing. All right, this whole slide. So what you're going to do is write maybe 4 different ways other than letters. So you're going to have 5 points here on written communication. Okay. Slide number. Oh, let me just put this over here so I can remember my notes. Oops. Come on. There we go. Oh, that changed my. Did it change my recording? No. Okay. So. Slide number 3, you don't have to do, just read through it. Be specific on slide number 4. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to rewrite this into a specific message. Okay, sometimes you say things that maybe you connect the dots in your brain, but it's really tough when you just give somebody else the sentence. We're going to have a meeting. Well, okay, what type of meeting? Where are we going to have this meeting? What's the meeting about? Who needs to be there? Do I need to be there? Do you want me to be there? So be specific. All right. It is important to be specific, but later on you'll also notice not to be too wordy. Okay. So we're going to talk about that one too. But it is important to have critical details in your message. Okay. The active voice. Okay. We didn't really talk about the active and passive voice yet. All right. It's just a way of writing. Okay. The active voice, here's an example. Jason purchased the packing materials. Okay, Jason is first. Okay, the noun that performs the action in the sentence comes before the verb. Okay, so Jason purchased then the packing materials. Okay, which is what it is, okay? Oops, sorry. The passive voice, the packing materials were purchased by Jason. So you've got the packing materials and then were purchased. Verb comes later, okay? Changed from passive to active. So the sales representatives were questioned by the marketing director. The active voice would be the marketing director questioned the sales representatives. Okay, just reverse that, okay? Rent was raised by the landlord raised the rent. Okay, the active voice is actually much better to use. It's more direct. It's simpler to understand. Often it's the better one to use, okay? Very rarely do we use the passive voice. It's more advanced, but you can use the passive voice for some things, okay? Maybe consider using the passive voice more towards like maybe an indirect letter, okay? Eliminate wordiness, okay? This one's a good one, okay? You want to be specific, remember slide number 4, but number 6, you also don't want to be too wordy, okay? You don't want to, your application, which we received with pleasure last week, will be reviewed by us by a later date yet to be decided, okay? Way too wordy, okay? But you can't just say something that's vague either. You have to hit all the details, so this is the tricky one, okay? Your application, which we received, so we received your application, and we are going to review it later, or your review date is yet to be decided, okay? Received with pleasure, don't need that, right? At a later date, don't need that. Just cut things out, eliminate the wordiness, all right? The meeting that will be held on May 3rd okay, you do need to keep that it's in May 3rd. You need to keep that it's meeting. Think of the critical points and then shorten it down, compress it, okay? So meeting, May 3rd, address issues that are related to participation in the upcoming sales conference. So you probably want to tell them it's about participation in the sales conference. This one's going to be the toughest one to get down to 10 words. I was able to get it down to 11. So if you get it at 11 words, I'm okay with that. Okay? Avoid redundancy. Slide 7. Fill in the table. Okay, so you when it says redundancies, and it says refer to the video, so here we are. What we have is like free gifts. If it's a gift, it's free, right? You don't have to say free gift. Foreign imports. If it's an import, you're implying that it's not from here. It's from a foreign place. Okay, so don't say foreign imports. True facts. If it's a fact, it's true. Okay, come on. If it's not true, then it's not a fact. Necessary essentials. Hopefully that's obvious. Advance warning. A warning happens in advance. Otherwise, it's not a warning. Okay. ATM machine. Do you know what ATM stands for? The M, I'm pretty sure, is machine. Let's look that up really quick. What does ATM stand for? Automated teller machine. Okay. So don't say automated teller machine. Okay. Just it's an ATM. This one's a bad one. Artificial prosthesis. It's like an artificial fake leg. That's basically what you're saying, like an artificial fake arm. You can't artificial and fake. That's like saying it's a fake arm. Don't do that. It's just redundant. Okay. An added bonus. A bonus is added. Okay. So just get rid of the redundancies. All right. This is actually a big mistake that happens all the time. People are. I mean, you'll notice it. Okay. Don't put those redundancies in there. Okay. Often students will use these to up their word count. That's why I hate word counts. Okay. Anyways, communicate in a clear, courteous, concise manner. This one, if you want to do it, you can. Get a synonym, get an antonym for it. But mostly what I'm trying to tell you is this is how you should communicate. You should be clear, courteous, concise, complete, and correct. Okay? 5 C's. Right? Be aware of the frame of mind. Okay? Also, well, with this one, okay, it says that take note that certain words can change in some ways. Okay, so this one's kind of an interesting one. Okay, there's 2 parts basically to this, and all you have to do for this slide is change, define the following words. What does literal mean, right? If you're using the words literal, factual, propaganda, inference, bias, it changes the frame of mind. Okay, certain words just change completely how the message is taken. All right, and unfortunately, too often, you know, you hear the girl saying, "Oh, literally, this happened." Okay, I don't like literally. Don't say that. Okay, what does literally mean? You're getting rid of the word literally. Literal is supposed to mean something. Okay, all of these have meanings, and they actually change the word of the meaning. It emphasizes something. Okay, but also literal, like I was mentioning, might mean something different to you. Might mean nothing to you now because of that generation gap. Kind of like the slang. Slang. Oh, I so wish that we could have had the conversation on slang. Also, back about that assignment, I'm going to be changing it. Yeah. Anyways, that was a fun assignment. Okay, so yeah, just define those words. Use them more appropriately. It can change what is being said. It can change how things are being read. Okay, and also just remember that you saying something like might just emphasize the word. It might mean something different to you than it would be to me. If I use the word propaganda, that would mean something different to me. It would not mean something as serious as somebody who may be in their 40s or 50s. Okay? So, next slide, number 10 and 11. These are just the steps of the planning process. Yes, you do need to know them. Planning, composing, editing, and publishing. Okay? Plan out what you're going to say. And this is anything. If you're writing an email, you need to go through this process. Plan what you're going. Don't just sit down and write the email. Plan what you're going to say. Pre-write. Write the basic message. Edit. You know, you're going to have some mistakes. It's just human nature. And the published final format, you do some pre-edits. You change. You make edits, and then you fix it. Right? And then you send it. By the way, with emails, man, I wish we had more conversations, but you have to reread every single email, even if it's only 2 sentences. Okay, I've written 2-sentence emails, sent them, and thought, oh, that makes perfect sense. It was just 2 sentences. Read it over again and thought, wow, that made 0 sense. Okay, very important to reread all your emails before you send them. Okay. Number 11, we talked about the indirect and direct approach, so we don't have to go over that too much, but we want to practice it, okay? And if this is all the practice that you get, that sucks, but, you know, usually we write an entire paper or an entire letter per one of these, so for 12, 13, 14, 15, that's 4 assignments that we're probably not going to be able to do, okay? But that means to just take this seriously, get it done, okay? So, state the news or main point of the message. Provide relevant details or facts about the message. Close with a respectful goodwill statement. Those are basically the steps of writing the direct approach. Okay, like I said, you're all pretty much pros at the direct approach. Especially high school boys are really good at the direct approach. Okay, write a brief, informative message. Okay, if your message, the direct approach, it might only take this much time. This much space, because it's really small, right? As long as the main point of the message is there, you provide relevant details and facts about the message, whatever that message may be. Close with a respectful goodwill statement. Okay, it's going to take some creativity on your part on writing a message. But I don't care what your message is about. It could be about anything, literally. Right? Think of a message that you might need to send one of your teachers and put it right there. Think about a message you would like to speak to maybe one of your siblings. Put it right there. Or your boss, or maybe a future boss. I don't know. It's up to you. Just write me a direct approach and put all those points right there. Okay. Now, a negative message, like you're firing somebody, that'd be a good one to do. Same thing. Okay. Introduce the subject. Same thing as the last one. It tells you what it's about, and then you write a brief message. Now, negative messages and persuasive messages. These two, you might have to add another slide to put your message in. It might, be longer. Okay. So you introduce the subject first. Okay. You review the facts. Fact is, here we are. Here's your performance. It wasn't that great this year. And then you're fired. Okay. State the bad news without apology, though. And this is so important. Full class to take this discussion here. But we only have a few more seconds. So, anyways, just remember, don't apologize for what you have to say. Okay? Anyways, persuasive message, do the same thing. And then the you approach,